You have some women, they might have been gangbanged or had a train ran on them, and then they got pregnant from the train. And it's hard to determine who the father of your child is if you got train ran on you. I'm just saying. So yeah, both parents need to be certain. Both parents need to be certain. The father and people will try to jump and say, "Oh, you're being sexist and you're being chauvinist and you're being toxic masculinist." And they'll say all those things. Right? But ultimately, the way the genders are set up, and there are only two genders, right? Right? The way the genders are set up, a man cannot carry a baby for 9 months in their belly and push the baby out of their penis. It's not happening, bro. Sorry. It's not happening. So it's easier for a woman to identify who fathered their child, as opposed to a man being able to identify who fathers their child, right? Just listen, I don't care how faithful you've been, it's biologically easier. It's biologically easier. It just is what it is. What do you want me to do? I didn't make the rules here. I didn't I didn't build this. You know what I mean? Don't be mad at me. All right, take it up with the creator. You know what I'm saying? If you want to look at things one-sided, you perfectly can, but this will make sense. I don't know if making sense means anything to you because all you care about is your feelings, but check this out. These are some good points here. These are some good points. Today, boys and girls, we're going to talk about mandatory paternity tests. Awesome. So why are women opposed to mandatory testing, mandatory paternity tests? It's really about defending paternity fraud. It's a presumption of guilt. It's in the same sense that a woman would be opposed to a man proposing a prenup. If you watch my previous episode, we talked about prenups, and where a woman refusing to sign a prenup doesn't necessarily make her a gold digger. It just presumes that, oh, we're bound to divorce. We're going to get divorced anyway, so why not sign it? Right? Like, it's a reasonable, and that's a reasonable take. You know what I'm saying? I get it. So mandating a test for every birth frames women as inherently trustworthy. It suggests infidelity is the default state of a relationship until proven otherwise, moving from a foundation of good faith to one of forensic suspicion. So it spoils the novelty in a way. You know what I mean? I get it. And that's okay. Because we're not here for novelty. We're here for truth. We are here for truth. So number 2, why women opposed to mandatory testing, reframing childbirth. For many, birth is a relational and emotional milestone. Turning it into a forensic event can feel like a violation of the partnership. It cheapens the experience, implying that a man's commitment is contingent on a lab result rather than the relationship built during the pregnancy. Ooh, I get it. So yeah, it kind of takes the moment away. It takes away from the moment. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's okay. We're good with that. So number 3, why would women be opposed? Why would women be opposed to mandatory paternity tests? Privacy and bodily autonomy. This is kind of similar to the whole abortion argument that we've been dealing with for decades, right? Genetic data is the most sensitive information a person possesses. Forcing a medical procedure, i.e. DNA sampling, without probable cause or a specific legal dispute is viewed as a significant expansion of state power over reproductive life and bodily privacy. So that sounds like a homeland security abortion type issue. That's more of a political legal situation right there. I get that. Number 4, why would women be opposed to mandatory paternity tests? Safety risks. In case, for instance, domestic violence, in cases of abuse or sexual assault, mandatory identification of a biological father can be dangerous. It could expose a woman's location or create a legal tie to a violent man, including rapists, in jurisdictions where such men are granted custody or visitation rights. Okay, all right, we get that. We get that. That's a little more serious. That's a little more serious. Or a little more practical. That sound, that's a more practical situation. Number 5, the last one. Why would women be opposed to mandatory paternity tests? The slippery slope. There is a concern that once the state normalizes mandatory genetic verification, it paves the way for further overreach, such as mandatory genetic disease screening, ancestry verification, or reproductive disclosures. Okay, whatever. That's speculative. We not concerned with that. Cool. So, the 5 reasons why many women are opposed to mandatory testing: the presumption of guilt. Number 1, the presumption of guilt. Number 2, the reframing of childbirth, reframing the experience of childbirth. Number 3, privacy and bodily autonomy, similar to abortion. Number 4, safety risks for like domestic violence, so on and so forth. And number 5, the slippery slope, the legal slippery slope of government overreaching, if you will. So yeah, those are the 5 reasons why women may be opposed to mandatory testing. Now let's go to the second part. I want to talk about why men are supportive of mandatory testing. Now, so proponents argue that certainty is a right, not a request. So a man has a right to know that his child is his. Now, I'm gonna get into it later. But certainty is a right and not a request. That's bars. Yeah, the bars for that. And that the current system places unfair burdens on men. The current system places unfair burdens on men. We done know. Let's talk about it. Financial and legal. So the 3 reasons why men are supportive of mandatory testing. Number 1, financial and legal fairness. The legal system often assigns lifelong financial responsibility based on a signature or a marriage status. Like what? Come on. Mandatory paternity test ensures no man is forced to pay for a child that is not biologically his. Let's go. Come on, like that. It don't get more simple than that. Number 2, why are men supportive of mandatory paternity testing? Eliminating social friction. Currently, if a man asks for a test, it often triggers "Why don't you trust me?" Right? Okay. It often triggers the "Why don't you trust me?" argument. A mandatory law removes the awkwardness. By making it a standard and neutral administrative step. Let's go. So that would be the social friction. The awkwardness would be the social friction. So it eliminates the social friction. Number 3, why are men supportive of mandatory paternity tests? A child's right. Proponents highlight that every child has a right to know their biological and medical histories. For the child. Let's go. I say this all the time. It's not about you. It's not about him or her. It's about the child. Let's go. Wu-Tang is for the children. Every child has a right to know their biological and medical history, which is essential for health profiling and identity. Let's go. So to cap that, the 3 reasons why men are supportive. It's so simple, but it's so on point. The 3 reasons why men are supportive of mandatory testing. Number 1, the financial and legal fairness. The man shouldn't have to pay for a kid that isn't his. Let's go. Eliminating social friction, eliminating the awkwardness. Let's go. And the child's right to know who their biological parent truly is. All right, so there you have that. So now let's look at the government consequences. Let's look at the consequences of mandatory paternity tests and how that would affect it on a political level. If mandatory paternity tests were implemented, the ripple effects would touch every aspect of the economy. That's scary. That's scary. 777. The immediate and legal administrative shocks, massive infrastructure costs. Testing millions of births annually would cost billions. Whether funded by taxpayers or parents, it would divert funds from other health priorities. I don't think people care. I think it's worth it. The legal delays. Birth certificates could be delayed, potentially slowing down a child's access to healthcare, insurance, and inheritance while results are processed. Ooh. I get it, but so what? Come on, son. Lastly, the end of the presumption of legitimacy. Most laws assume a husband is the father for efficiency. It's like, oh, you the pappy, you the pappy. Come on now. That's it. Like nothing. There's no proof, no nothing. You the pappy. That's the legal system we live in. Come on, son. Mandatory paternity tests would end this shortcut and requiring a total restructuring. Mandatory paternity tests would end the shortcut, and it would require a total restructuring of family law. So basically, enforcing mandatory paternity tests would pretty much cripple the family law system. I know. There's some people who are for it, and of course, the people, the attorneys and so on and so forth, they'd be against it, right? Because that's taking money out of their pockets, right? But I think, in my personal opinion, I haven't researched or anything like that. In my personal opinion, I think the family law court makes more money than the criminal court. That's freaking terrible. Like you just think you take a murderer or a rapist, right? You hire the cops to arrest them. You hire the entire court system to prosecute them, and then you hire the corrections facilities to incarcerate them, right? Food, clothing, and shelter. You know what I mean? How much money is the court system making off of that murderer or rapist? How much money would the court system make? Just from a murderer or rapist. They have to incarcerate them, feed them, clothe them, and shelter them. You know what I mean? But you take a family law trial, let's say a divorce case. In a divorce case alone, there's alimony, child support, and court fees and legal fees. You know what I'm saying? Well, the court system makes money off the court fees. The lawyers make money off the legal fees. You know what I mean? The prosecutor gets paid by the court. No, I'm sorry, that's a criminal case. But in a family law case, the prosecutor and the defending attorneys, they get paid by the plaintiff and the defendants, right? Or sometimes based on the prenup clause, one spouse has to pay for both lawyers. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, it's already predetermined. And so you think alimony. So let's say the murderer or the rapist was like very wealthy, right? They had to pay exorbitant legal fees to beat the case. Okay, great. But in a divorce case, in a divorce case, the murderer, that same murderer or rapist, let's say he's not a murderer or rapist, he's just divorcing his wife. He has to pay an exorbitant amount of money. He has to pay an exorbitant amount of money just for alimony and the child support. Not even, and then the child support is mandatory. That's not even in the divorce. That's just you get a divorce, you got to pay child support. That's period, right? But he has to pay everything else. So yeah, the family court system, the family court makes more money, in my opinion, my unqualified opinion, it makes more money than the criminal court, than the regular plain old just court. Family court makes more money. The government consequences. So the immediate and legal administrative shocks. So we talked about the infrastructure costs, administering millions of mandatory paternity tests, the legal delays, how it would back up the system because birth certificates wouldn't be signed initially, and then the shortcutting of the law, the legal system, just saying you the pappy, just cause, right? So these are the legal and administrative shocks of mandatory paternity tests. These are the ramifications and repercussions of mandatory paternity tests. This is what it would cause. The social and familial impact. This isn't necessarily so much legal or on paper, but this makes a difference. The destabilization of the social father. Modern law often prioritizes the man who raises the child over the biological donor. Mandatory paternity tests could force a legal separation between a child and only the father they have ever known, potentially destroying the stable family unit. Hey, I mean, charge it to the game. Oh well, she should have told the truth, right? The truth is expensive. 777, rack it up. You know what I'm saying? The truth is expensive, y'all. So the social and family impacts of a mandatory paternity test: increased conflict at birth. Oh well. Surfacing hidden secrets, including IVF, mix-ups, chimerism. I don't know what that word means. I'll look it up later. Or infidelity. Obviously that's the big one, right? Who the pappy? Come on, son. This could lead to immediate abandonment, divorce, and trauma. Yeah, we know. Here's a big one. The social and familial impacts of mandatory paternity tests. Shift in behavior. Long term, this could lead to more caution in casual sex and clearer accountability. This is a positive. This is a positive. But it also creates a colder, more verification-based culture. Okay, that's fine. I get it. It's worth it though. So the social and familial impacts of mandatory paternity tests: destabilization of the quote-unquote social father, increased conflict at birth, we know, and the shift in behavior, the societal shift in behavior. People will be more careful, i.e. women will be more careful about who they let shoot the club up. Let's go. All right, so we got the government consequences out the way. So let's so the people for mandatory paternity tests is to prevent fraud, scientific accuracy, and the child's health, and equality, where both parents have equal certainty in who's the father of the child. Yeah, and that's true too, because the people against mandatory paternity tests, because it violates privacy, it's a presumption of guilt and the safety risk, and then there's institutional distrust, where trust is just thrown out the window. It's like it's the law. It's the law. So in conclusion, what is the compromise? The most realistic path forward involves a universal right to testing rather than a universal mandate. So the father should have the right to order a paternity test, as opposed to it just being mandated for everyone. Okay, so making testing easily available. So it causes the right to testing, as opposed to the mandate to testing, causes zero stigma. Making testing easily available and subsidized, so an opt-in is seen as a neutral right. And then there's privacy protection, strict laws preventing the government from retaining DNA samples after the test is complete. I don't get that. Timing, ensuring testing occurs before legal responsibility is finalized. Yes. This is a big one. But without turning the hospital delivery room into a crime lab. Funny. So ultimately, it's not about biology. It's about who bears the risk, who bears the cost, and how much power the state should have over the American family. These are good points. I'm very, very pleased with this. I think because the court, the people implementing the law would lose money themselves. I think, of course, obviously, they would be a lot less likely to implement it or implement it as quickly. 777. They'd be a lot less likely to implement it as quickly, because it's not in their favor. Ultimately, it's in the favor of the father, really. Because of that, because of that, and with the advancements of science, we now have a way to have more proof and to be more certain, as opposed to, looking at that baby, as opposed to Big Mama looking at that baby and determining whether that baby looked like her son or not. Right? Just staring all in the crib, right? We ain't got to do that no more. We ain't got to go to Big Mama and have a look in the crib. We can just now, take a cotton swab and be done with it. You feel me? Like it's really that simple.
Ha. Hey yo, P, do that freaky jam on the beat. Busy with that butter shit, that bone feed. Did you double do that song thing? Flicky with some butter, so that bone thing. If you cheeky cheddar check, I get her own cheese. It's a chicken with that head or it's a bitch that won't be with the official with that whole skis. Bloody feet, each other, wish that with that long.
I got racks at ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks at ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch, a badass bitch. And don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you